All right. First and foremost, I want to say, Kalo Yahweh Shem Shai. I just said, it's all praises to the Father in the name of the Son. I also want to say, Yahweh Shem Shai Bakatah, may the Most High in Christ bless. I'm just going to get into it, right? There's really no explanation needed. I'm going to move my face over here, man. Right, let's move my face to the other side today. It's not usually what I would do, but I want to show you here that I'm going to an incognito tab, right? Not to do nothing crazy, but just to get a better chat with GPT, man. Because this is what we're going to start with, right? That's what chat GPT. I'm going to ask you the question. Right, let's zoom in. And this is dealing with what the topic is, man. So if you don't think I'm dealing with the topic, then you're wrong, man. I'm just gonna ask it the same thing I asked it earlier. It don't have me logged in, so it should give me the proper answer as to who the Kenites are, man. So without further ado, I'm gonna get right into it, right? So who is the progenitor of the Kenites? Now I'm going to be specific here, right? I'm going to say Shem, comma, Ham. Hopefully this thing don't then change its ideology up due to me being at work and it got more information. Sometimes chat change everything up, man. But I'm hoping it didn't change up now. Japheth, right? Or CAIN, right? You have to put that in there, right? And let's see what it says, right? You see this type of foolishness, man? Right? So we're gonna get into it now. And they didn't even go into nothing else. They just said CAIN. That's it. They didn't say that biblically it's impossible for them to come from CAIN. But I'm just gonna go with what this says, man. Right? Okay, let's get one more question after to load up. We're not gonna go with that just yet, right? So it says the Kenites are traditionally believed to be descendants of CAIN. How is that possible? How is anybody a descendant of CAIN? Right? This makes no sense, right? And it says, according to the Bible, Cain was a son of Adam and Eve, killed his brother Abel, and was marked by God. Afterwards, he went to live in the land of Nod, east of Eden, right? Genesis 4:16. Some biblical texts suggest that the Kenites were a people descended from Cain or closely associated with his lineage. However, there is some ambiguity, right? Ambiguity, right, in the historical and genealogical details, and the exact nature of their relationship to Cain is debated by scholars, which it should be, right? In some biblical traditions, the Kenites are portrayed as being closely allied with Israelites, right, and even are mentioned in the context of Jethro, right, Moses-in-law, who was a Kenite. So it's basically saying the Kenites are typically considered to be descended from Cain and biblical tradition, right? Where does this originate? It says it's in the Bible, the book of Genesis, right? I wanted to get them one where it says that they were nomads and that they were metal workers, right? Okay, so it's not saying anything about nomads or metal workers. We're going to get Judges 1 and 16, 4 and 11. And then we also going to get 1 Samuel, right, 12 and 6, right? So this is what we're seeing, right? It's saying that they are descendants of Cain. We're not going to discredit that, man. We're going to go into the Bible and discredit that, man. We don't have to do the dialogue with ChatGPT. We're going to go into the Bible and prove it otherwise, right? So let's start with one thing first, man. Let's go with this Genesis, right? 15 in the blue letter Bible, right? That's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to go down to verse 16, right? No. What was it? What was this word for Kenite, right? We're not even gonna go into what this is, man. We're just gonna go into the word first, man, right? Because they say that this word derives from CAIN, right? So that's CAIN, right? CAIN, Kenite. So it's literally could be CAIN or it can be a Kenite, right? But they literally saying Kenite, Smiths, right? Let's see the one use of Kenite in the Bible, man. Where is that located, right? Cain. Nevertheless, the Kenite shall be wasted until a sheriff shall carry thee away captive, right? I would have to look into the context of that, man, but the only instance we see of Kenite being Smith, right, is and this here, proper gentilic noun, right? I don't even know what that means. But so Kenite here, man, this origin says Kenite equals Smith, right? It says the tribe from which the father-in-law of Moses was a member, right? And if you go to CAIN, man, it says CAIN equals possession, but Kenite equals Smiths. And they both have the same meaning if it's the same Hebrew word. This is how you trap them up, man. This is how you catch them up in a lie, man. Let me get rid of this line on this thing, man, right? Right, I couldn't associate, I couldn't figure out what is what over here, man, right? Let's move this over, man. I must have moved that over a little bit, man. That's Salakia, right? I'm trying to get my face in the right position, right? Salakia, right? So I didn't even know I was off base with this, man. But we can see, man, that this is it should be the same thing, man. Whether it's CAIN or Kenite, CAIN should be possession, man. Kenite should, if it's CAIN, right, it should be possession, right? The word shouldn't change from possession to Smith, which these words shouldn't be interchangeable at all, man. Kenai, now Kayanai, right? This is Kayan, right? This is Kayanai, right? Which means Smiths, if we're gonna go with what it says here, man, right? But there's no attribute in the Bible that expresses they are Smiths or metal workers or anything of the sorts, right? So we can't go with the definition to be what they are just because the name is there. And like I said before, names do hold a lot of power, but this case is not proven by the Bible, man. Like Pelag in the Hebrew, man, that translates to earthquake, and during his time it was a great earthquake. That don't mean that he was the cause of the earthquake, but it does associate with his name, man. Right? So we gotta understand, man, that Kenite, man, they try and associate it with this, man, but it's not really making sense. If this is Cayenne being possession, then Kenite or Cayenne again should not be Smith. It should be CAIN. It should be possession. Same for CAIN. So now we're looking into this. We see in the definition of Kenite, which is the tribe from which the father-in-law Moses was a member, and which lived in the area between Palestine and the Mount Sinai. Right? Now, this is beautiful because I did all this research before I came here. Let's go here, man. It's either Habab or it's Jethro, the same man. Right? So we even gonna go here, right? And we're gonna go Exo 3. Right? Let's go here. I'm trying to make this quick. I got a meeting with a brother that I'm vetting, man, and I don't want to make this too long-winded, man. So we're gonna go with Jethro, right? To see what his name means in the Hebrew, right? To understand why we go this. So let's actually get the verse first. Let's not skip that, right? Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. What is Midian? We're gonna deal with both of those words, Jethro, right, and the priest of Midian, right? Because we assuming that he's a Kenite, right? But we seeing that he's the priest of Midian, making him a Midianite, right? It's only clear, right? And it says, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of God, even to Horeb, right? So this is talking about Moses, but it's two things in here that are mentioned, right? Jethro, which is Yatharai, right? I know that's O, or W, Yatharo, right? Yathara, right? which is his abundance, father-in-law of Moses, also Jethro, right? And it says, His Excellence Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, compare H3500, right? Which is Ether, right? Which is Jethro, abundance, father-in-law, oldest son of Gideon, right? So it's not really saying anything here, but it says Jethro, the name of 5 or 6 Israelites and one Midianite. Jethro. It says he was a Midianite. It's 6 Israelites and 1 Israelite. Who is that? Or 1 Midianite. Who's the one Midianite? Right? Jethro. Right? Who is the Israelites? The people named here, man. Right? But here we see that has no relation here, man. Right? It's not that, man. So let's go to Midian, man. Let's just see what Midian is, man. Right? It says Midian or Midianite equals strife. Right? The sons of Abraham by Keturah and progenitor of the tribe of Midianites or Arabians, man. So we seeing that Midianites and Kenites might have some relation in the Bible, man. We can't suggest that it is what it is, but we seeing here, man, that it's more so that the Kenites are Midianites and not the children of Cain, right? The basis that Midian comes from Cain derives from the. We good, buddy? Hold on, wait, Salaki, my thing coming undone. Right, Salaki, I got this contraption up here and it's not working. But the ideology that Kenites are descendants of Cain comes from racial theories, and biblical studies, man. So they would say that blacks are Kenites, right? To say that they don't descend of Adam because only white people come from Adam. That's what the belief is, man. So this was actually done in racism, man, right? And it was used to prove that that blacks have the curse of Cain, right? Which is my mark is greater than I could bear, but that doesn't apply to us, man, right? But there's no way to prove that this is Cain survived the flood, man. Right? We're gonna get into that, but we're gonna deal with this Midianite angle first, man. To prove that Kenites are Midianites and not descendants of Cain, man. Right? You don't even see that expressed anywhere in the Bible that they could descend from Cain, man. But we seen at the beginning of the video, ChatGPT said that the Kenites come from Cain, man, which is crazy to even think of, man. Right? But we're not gonna get into that just yet, man. Right, and it's also going into this and that and the third. So this is Midian, man, right, and Arabian Peninsula, right, and it it's not the same thing, man. So it's talking about a land or a people, man, right? It's not talking about anything other than that, man. It's talking about a land or a people, the people of Midian, right, and that's a descendant of Eber or a descendant of Abraham through Keturah, man, which we see here, man, right, which makes them Hebrews, man. Right, it don't make them anything else but Hebrews, right? So we can't get around that. So this is talking about Hebrews, man, Hebrew Midianites, man, right? We can't get around that. So now we got Exodus 3. Let's go to I have to go to 1 Samuel 15 first, right? And the reason behind this is because it tells you what happened, man, right? So this is also the reason why I got the idea that Kenites can't be sons of Cain, because the person who I was debating with or going back and forth with, because it was really no debate, man. He had no biblical stance, right? But the person that I was going back and forth with said that Amalek, right, is the Kenites. They're one and the same. They're related. They're the same people, and that's literally not what the Bible says. So it's 1 Samuel 15:6. It says, and Saul said unto the Kenites, go, depart, get you from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. And ye showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt. Right. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites. right? So literally the Kenites did good by the children of Israel, and it says, who bless those who bless thee, man, right? Or I will bless those who bless thee, man. So literally the Lord spared the Kenites, man. And if you're saying that they the descendants of Cain, but the Lord is sparing these people, what sense does that make? Right? It says the wicked one, Cain. Cain is really associated with wicked people, man. It's never in the Bible where we see Cain and his descendants being seen as a good light, man. Right? Except for in the beginning where Cain was first born, begotten of God, man, possession, man. Right? That's what we seeing, man. Right? But other than that, man, we don't see the Cain or his descendants, because they're not Cainites, they're Cain. There was no ideology out in the Bible that expresses Cainite, right? Except for Kenite when it's listed in the Cain, right? So we gotta understand, man, that these people here, man, are not the same people that we think that they are. What doctrine will tell you, man, they can't be descendants of Cain, man. So let's get this verse that I want to get, right? We're gonna get Judges, right? Judges, I think it was 1:16. Okay, so now here we going, right? It says, and the Judges 1:16, and it says, and the children of the Kenite, Moses' father-in-law. So they literally saying that Moses' father-in-law was a Kenite, but it also saying that Jether was a descendant of Midian, right? So he's being a Kenite and he's also being a Midianite. Which one is it? It's both, because you have Israelites, and then you have Judites, you have Levites, you have Benjamites, you have Ephraimites, so on and so forth. Manassites, right? It goes down the line. It's about the tribe, man, right? So Kenite was a tribe of Midian. It's simple mathematics, man, right? And we seeing that here, man, because it's saying the children of the Kenite, Moses' father-in-law, went up out of the city of palm trees with the children of Judah into the wilderness of Judah, which lieth in the south of Arad, and they went and dwelt among the people, right? So we seeing that Kenites are Midianites, man. That's what the Bible is saying here, man. Let's actually get another one to prove this, man. So this is Judges chapter 4:11. Now Heber, right, the Kenite, which was the children of Hobab, right, the father-in-law of Moses. And if you go into the Hebrew for Hobab, you will see that this is talking about Jethro again, man, right? It says, had severed himself from the Kenites. So this man here, right, Heber, right, which sounds kind of like Eber. I got to get Judges 4 now. I did the Blue Letter Bible, right? Because if this is Eber, man, and not Hebrew like it's saying, man, that means that he has the same name as Eber, right? It's not. It's not the same word. It's Chyber, right? Camaraderie, right? So the Kenite, right? It don't say anything about a Benjamite, right? A Judite, a Gadite. This is literally showing you though that this is showing you. And look, Asher, Hebrewites. Asher was an Israelite, but he had people called Hebrewites under him. You can't get around that, right? But it's literally a Hebrew name, man. This comes from Hebrew, man, right? Kenite derives from Hebrew, right? And Eber is a Hebrew word, man, right? So that, or Chyber, right? That's a Hebrew word, man, right? I'm trying not to be too far long-winded, man. I'm at 5 o'clock, 5:05 right now. I'm trying to get this done before 6, because that's, or actually 5:30, man. So we got to understand this is talking about children of Israel or Hebrew names, man. So let's go back to here, man, and go back to Genesis or Judges 4:11. It says, the children of Hobab, the father-in-law of Moses, had severed himself from the Kenites and pitched his tent in the plain of Zion, which is by Kadesh. Now let's go back here, man. Right, we're gonna deal with Hobab, right? Hobab or Hobab, right? This is literally the one that you can't answer to, man. Right, Hobab It says the son of Ruel, the Midianite father-in-law of Moses, also known as Jethro, right? So the Blue Letter Bible tell you verbatim that he was a Midianite, and it tells you that this is the same person as Jethro, right? So Jethro or Hobab are Midianites. It's chopped, man. You can't get around this shit, man. Come on, man. So literally, it's saying that the Hobab is a Midianite, man, right? And it's I already got all these things, man. So where do we draw the line, man? This is literally saying that the Kenites are Hebrew Midianites. That's the bottom line, right? So how do we get the the information that he is a Canaanite, a descendant of Cain. I can't even say Canaanite because there's no word in the Bible for that, man. Right? Let me see. No, 1:8. I know it's First Peter, but I'm not sure which verse it is. Right? So it's First Peter 3. I gotta get it from Bible Hub though, man, because this explains it perfectly, man. And I was getting the New King James version, but I was showed the English Standard version, and that hit hard, man. That shit hit way harder. Excuse my language, but that hit harder, man. So this is the King James version, which we're gonna get first, right? It says, "Which sometimes were disobedient." 1 Peter 3:20. When once the long suffering of God waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was a preparing, right? Wherein few, that is, 8 souls were saved by water. It literally says 8 souls are saved by water, right? This ain't even the one that I wanted, man. It's another verse that I wanted, man. Talk about the seven and seven others in the ESV, man. Man, it gotta be First Peter. Um, 2 Peter 2:5. Okay, so let's go here. This one here, man. The 2 Peter. I don't remember what verse it was, man. So you gotta bear with me. But we're gonna get it. 2 Peter 2. I know it's the second chapter, man. Right? And yeah, this is definitely it, man. Because in the King James, it might say one of 8 others. Right? Yeah. So this is it. Right, so this King James version, the 2 Peter 2:5, it says, "And spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon." So 1 Peter 3:20 even further solidifies that Noah was saved with 8 people, man, nobody else, right? The dude was saying that I can't prove that only 8 people were saved, man. I didn't even know that First Peter 3:20 was further proving it, man. I didn't get that far, man. Right? I just got one precept and I knew it was it, man. It was over. It's curtains, man. Right? So we're gonna go to 2 Peter 2:5 out of the New King James Version. It says, "And did not spare the ancient world, but saved Noah, one of 8 people." Right? He saved one of 8 people, so only 8 people were saved, man. A preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood on the world of the ungodly. Why would it be on the world of the ungodly? Because this is where we seen the descendants of Cain. We seen the descendants of non-Adamites, right? But the only people that made it out of the flood was the Adamites or the Noahites or the descendants of Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, right? Noah, Ham, Shem, Japheth, and their wives, which aren't named in the Bible, if I'm not mistaken, man. Right? So we're not going to find anybody outside of the 8 people that survived the flood, man. Right? There's no proof biblically that anybody outside of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth and their wives survived the flood, man. Right? It's not there, man. Right? And let's get this out the ESV real quick, man. Right? To cut this up once and for all, man. Right? The ESV is the nail in the coffin here, man. This is the first one. Right? Where's the English Standard Version? Right? So this is the English Standard Version, man. It says, if he did not spare the ancient world but preserved Noah, a herald of righteousness, with 7 others. This is literally telling you that he saved Noah and 7 other people. And that's it. Right? When he brought a flood upon the world of the ungodly. Right? No way, and biblically speaking, could we find Cain and his descendants, or the descendants of Cain, because Cain was long gone and dead by this. But nowhere in the Bible could we prove that Cain and his the descendants of Cain lived past the flood, man. Right? Uh, I know it's something in the Bible that say something about how all men were killed for the flood, man. But I'm not gonna go into that, man. I've been going for 25 minutes on this, man, and I believe that I adequately expressed that Cain and Kenites have no relation except by the similarities in their names. That's it. We can't find that Cain is the progenitor of the Kenites. For it to be suggested since Genesis 15, 16, right? It's insane, man. That's the first instance of Kenite being used. I don't even know why I have to go into this type of stuff, man. This is basic biblical knowledge. There's nobody that survived a flood outside of the 8 people, right? You can't prove that with the Bible, man. So, yeah, I'm going to end it here, man. Right, so with that, I want to say shalom, Yahweh, Shem, Yahshua,